People tryna say I'm only enemy. Got a code with my dogs, can't get in between. I can give them life, no more energy. Amen.
What is up, everybody? Welcome in. If you're coming from yesterday, you're feeling pretty damn good because we smacked, and now we're going to try and go for it again. You guys know once we hit last year, the heater started very soon after it and lasted until the end of the season. We're going for it again. And we got a special guest today with Austin joining us. Austin, how are we feeling, man?
Dude, excited to get into Monday Night Football. I think this game's going to be better than most, so I'm excited for that. Sunday was my birthday, so that was cool. Got to see the fam.
Everybody wish
Good
Austin
vibes
happy
there.
birthday in the comments.
Bets did not go as good. We went 2-5 personally. And not how you want to have a Sunday slate, but excited to dive into Monday, regroup, get back.
Love it. JJ, how you feeling after last night?
I'm just glad I hit the parlay. You know, we've been waiting for this moment for this channel for so long to get the parlays rolling again. Our curses were always off by one, you know, and
oh yeah,
the hardest part is always the touchdowns, and we've been nailing that part.
Oh, money! If we stick to just the touchdowns, everybody would have thought we were gods on this page.
Yeah,
but again, finally got it done. Josh Allen over 1.5 passing touchdowns. Diggs 5 receptions. Patriots plus 10.5. Patriots won outright. Diggs, you guys can see, had 10 receptions. Last night was perfect. But doesn't mean shit if we can't do it for the people watching now for the first time. We got Monday Night Football. Jaguars at home against the Chiefs. Chiefs are 3.5-point favorites as of recording this video, I believe. Let's start with the run game because obviously the Jaguars, they went from having like a 3-headed monster with Tank Bigsby in the mix. Now Tank Bigsby's gone. It's really a 2-headed monster with they're trying to mix in a third guy that's not really working. It's really just Tootin and ETN, who's having a great season. Chiefs run defense has not been great to start the season, JJ.
Yeah, they definitely have one of the worst EPAs against the rush in the league. So I think with having one of the best offensive lines in the league in the Jaguars, gotta attack the run.
Yep. Austin, do you see anything that sticks out on the run game? I know the pass game is kind of what we tend to focus on, but anything you're seeing there? Either side, I guess, not just the Jaguars. But
I agree. I honestly, going into this season, I thought KC was going to be a lot better up front. They did okay against Saquon, so then I was just like, oh, wow, like, they're back, you know? But obviously the Eagles are just not able to run the ball either. So, like, it wasn't that impressive. So I kind of could see ETN having a big game here. Like you said, though, I didn't attack it enough, like where I have an official play. I've been kind of keeping it to one official play on these primetime games. I don't like to overshoot. But, yeah, I mean, I like the ETN looks.
Yeah, I think everybody's waiting for the Tootin breakout. And, like, could it be this game? If ETN doesn't step up and they share some of the usage, maybe. But, like, until ETN starts playing bad, you can't take it away from him. But yeah. ETN has been relying a lot on explosive plays. So it's just you don't want to be the one holding the bag when ETN finally goes a game without an explosive play. It's only so sustainable.
And a lot of it's coming from the yards before contact as well, which is an offensive line stat.
Yep, exactly.
Newton is doing a lot of it yards after contact, which like kind of leads me to believe eventually if ETN slips up, he will eventually eat into that rushing share a lot because he is that talented. He's only had one carry that went for zero negative yards. Yep. Everything he does is always positive yards. So
they probably traded Bigsby intentionally. You know what I mean? Like they probably liked him a ton more already.
Oh, yeah. So. They drafted it for a reason.
Exactly. Yeah, new regime drafting running back when you already have two that everybody thought were startable. The writing was kind of on the wall.
Exactly.
Yeah. In the pass game on the Jaguar side, obviously we've been saying for years Chiefs are bad against the slot. They run that too high man coverage that just leaves the middle of the field open for anybody who runs an in-breaking route. This year, it's kind of been everybody eats, whether you're in the slot or outside or the tight end or the running back. It's kind of just been pick your poison. You can still target the slot against them. It's not, you should stop doing that. But again, they run that 2 high coverage. So JJ, who's the one to target from that 2 high coverage that the Chiefs love to run?
I mean, it's got to be BTJ, Brian Thomas Jr.
Yes, finally.
Yeah, it's just a matter of can they get him the ball. Trevor Lawrence hasn't been as accurate or just staring down his first read a little too often. But they made it very publicly apparent that they want to get him the ball last week.
Oh yeah.
Those little practice films are just throwing the ball to him in practice for probably like an hour or so.
Yeah. And for what it's worth, in the first 2 games, 9 of his 18 targets to BTJ were catchable, so only 50%. In the last 2 games, it's been 11 of 13. So the quality of the targets have been higher. And on top of that, both last year and so far this season, I believe his adjusted completion percentage is significantly higher at home than on the road. So works in Brian Thomas's favor if he's still the first read. Even if the numbers haven't been showing it, he still has been the first read. Austin, I know, speaking of slot receivers, you have some stuff you want to share there.
Yeah, I like the BTJ looks too. I kind of looking at this slate thought all 3 of their receiving tight end, even their tight end, Brenton Strange, I thought all 3 of those guys, Travis Hunter, Strange, and Thomas Jr.'s lines were a little low. Could be notifying us what they think this game is going to look like, but I think there's going to be more passing here, and I attack Travis Hunter longest reception, 14.5 yards. I know his receiving yards got super public at 25.5, and then it's all the way up to 30.5 some places now. I just think it makes a ton of sense to attack the slot. A 15-yard completion he's done in 2 of the 4 games. Every wide receiver I was telling you that's faced him, Bateman, Flowers, Wan'Dale Robinson, Allen, Ladd, like all the guys in the slot that have played there has covered a 15-plus yard reception. So I think it happens here. It's their only primetime game we're going to see them. You didn't draft Travis Hunter not to play him on offense in these big games. So that's kind of what I'm seeing. Hoping to grab one,
Yeah, and I think when you draft him as a 2-way player, but you don't plan on having him play 100% of the snaps both ways, you're planning, okay, when are we going to see more defense? When are we going to see more offense? There's not really anybody on the Chiefs side that you need to play man-to-man and try and shut down with a corner like that. Like Xavier Worthy is Xavier Worthy, but also with the way the Chiefs use him, it's not like they're just sticking him on the outside and asking him to go win 1v1.
Right.
So if you need him less from a coverage standpoint, at least from man-to-man standpoint, it's easy to be like, okay, more offensive snaps. Let's say 50 total snaps and you can split it up defense and offense. It kind of sounds like that's the attitude they're having. They don't want to use him too much. So if that's the case and they need him less on defense, it's very easy to say that it could be more offensive snaps. On top of that, I don't know if it was last week or 2 weeks ago, but he was saying they're trying to keep it simple for him instead of throwing too much at him. So instead of moving him around a lot, JJ, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think he said just slot and flanker for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where I saw it too.
So it kind of goes into exactly what you were saying, Austin, where it's just we know exactly what his role is. It's just a matter of the matchup making a lot of sense for him to go do it. So
Lawrence 220 pass yard line, like he could easily throw 80 yards to BTJ, go over that line. He could throw a 22-yard completion to Travis Hunter. My thing too, he was minus like 175 for 3 catches. If he grabs three catches, I think one of them's a 15-yarder. You know what I mean? So that's kind of where I took it. Kept it simple.
Yep. I love it. All right. Other side of the ball, we got the Kansas City Chiefs. Everybody gave up on them in the first 3 weeks like they always do when they lose the first 2 games, and then they started looking like the Chiefs again last week. What are we seeing there? Because I know it gets a little bit more murky right now with Xavier Worthy. He popped up on the injury report as questionable yesterday. Looks like he's expected to play, but now we don't know if he's playing at 80% or 100%.
Yeah, I think from what the reports are, it sounds like he just tweaked his ankle in practice on Saturday, but still was a full participant. They just want to be precautionary. I think they're still going to he's going to be the main focal point of that passing game still. Because I think, Hollywood took a little bit of step back when Worthy came back last week. Tyquan Thornton really took a step back. I think, 35% route share.
Yep.
Hollywood was at 50%. And those guys have been like in the 70% the last 3 weeks. So I think with Worthy being involved, it's going to hurt those guys a little bit. But it seems like Juju was the only one that didn't really get affected, which is
Bro, I was
surprising to
about
me.
to say, highest route share of the season when Xavier Worthy's back. Somebody make it make sense. Holy shit. In a blowout, too. Like, they could have easily at the end of the game been like 2 wide receiver sets, put like some rookie out there while they're up by 30 and run the ball a bunch. No, Juju, get your ass back out on that field and run some more routes. I don't know if that game plan is going to stick. I don't think I'm confident enough to say, oh, Andy Reid's not going to do that again, because he really might. But me personally, if I was a coach, I don't think I would do that again. That's just what I'll say.
Weren't those 2 plays on back-to-back plays
Which
too?
2 plays?
The Juju Smith receptions. I'm pretty sure his 2 routes.
It was back-to-back.
It was back-to-back plays. Like, he wasn't that involved.
It was like 2 12-yarders or something like that.
Yeah, like I feel like that was kind of forced. Like, all right, he's played around this whole game. Let's get him.
Yeah.
The other thing is a lot of it, all of his production comes against zone. Like, even if there's a man-heavy team, those little like 5 plays they may run zone coverage in a row, he's going to be targeted. And for him today, he's facing a top 10 team in zone coverage rate. So I wouldn't be surprised if he gets those targets this week.
I want to check the snap rate for the first 3 quarters, because that was something that
it was all pretty similar when I checked it.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't understand what's going on over there, man. I really don't.
Yeah. It was above 70% for Juju for first 3 quarters. Hollywood is about 50%. It was interesting.
All right. Well, there you have it. Juju Smith-Schuster, new wide receiver 1 for the Chiefs, ahead of Xavier Worthy, apparently. So,
but Worthy did have like a 30% first read share against zone coverage last week. So
with a 17-yard ADOT, by the way.
Yeah,
he looked good. Like he looked.
The one thing that
he's going to be a focal point.
The one thing that I will say, I think he had 136 air yards, if I have it right. Only 50 of them were catchable. So yes, he looked good. I think he had 1 or 2 big catch and runs off like screens or crossers. But that ADOT I think we need a bigger sample size to make a statement on that. But it was very interesting to see, because we remember last season, like the second half of last season when he was going off, the big change was they stopped exclusively running him down the field and shortened his route tree a lot, or made his route tree more focused on the shorter routes. So
yeah,
I don't really know what the vision with Kansas City is right now. I think we need to see it play out.
Yep.
What's Tyquan Thornton's role either? Like,
he had 16 routes last game, down to 38% route share, 1 target. I mean, you don't really need him when you have Worthy out there. I think.
Yeah.
When Thornton's on the field, you know what route he's running as a defense.
He's just looked good out there, and he stretched the floor or stretched the field for him. I just feel like he's earned a spot to play, but there's no snaps, especially with Rice coming back.
Yeah. I just think Kansas City likes the versatility of their offense, knowing all 4 guys can run 2-yard routes or 20-yard routes, and so that's not a normal offense. Thornton, usually every offense has a deep outside guy, a possession receiver, a tight end that can do both. So Thornton would fit the bill a lot more in those scenarios. But again, Andy Reid could come out and say, you know what, Tyquan, 65% route share. Go stretch him deep today. We really have no clue at this point.
2 touchdowns, 80 yards. Yep.
Last thing I think we need to talk about, I guess this is more on the running side, but he's used a decent bit in the receiving game, is Brashard Smith, running back for the Chiefs. He had 10 routes last game, 4 targets. So obviously 40% targets per run on a small sample size. But the coaches talked about him a lot in between weeks about wanting to use him more. When you look at Kareem Hunt and Isaiah Pacheco in their snap share, it looks like it's not affecting Kareem Hunt. And Isaiah Pacheco took a pretty big hit by it. Could have been because of the blowout. Again, like I've been saying, too early to tell. But something to keep an eye on is just the usage of all 3 backs in this one. But in terms of the running game, how are we seeing this, boys?
The Jaguars don't give up explosive plays. I mean, they've allowed going into this week, they've allowed the fewest 10+ yard carries. So I don't know how much these guys are going to do on the ground. It's gonna be pretty tough.
Is Pacheco that good? Like I feel like he's just not that talented of a runner in between the tackles and stuff like that. Like,
Yeah,
I think there's a
that's
reason
just-
they're playing the backup running backs a lot more.
Yeah, he's been bad this season. He just hasn't been able to read the blocks really well.
yeah. And again, he was what 7th round pick.
Yeah, facts.
Yeah.
Like,
So you gotta factor that in too. So like he's expendable.
Exactly. That's why they're not like feeling like, oh, we paid this guy, we have to keep giving him carries. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
And
we
it's like
got a ton
him-
from him already.
Him and Kareem Hunt been pretty 50-50 with their carries. Like they've been getting the same amount each week pretty much. Now you got Brashard coming into the mix.
Yeah.
And they've been talking about they want to get him the ball or like more involved in this offense.
One of the craziest things to me as I'm looking at it now is the stacked box rate against them has been one of the lowest in the NFL. I'm looking at 22.33%. So for their running game to be as inefficient as it is and it's not like a single player problem, it is both running backs. For it to be that efficient against light boxes is a concern. Because if you give
Very
him
much a concern.
the slightest run efficiency in the run game, it's over for the defense. There's nothing they can do.
Yeah.
But let's get into the parlay, shall we?
Let's do it.
All right. So we're going to start things off. Again, we smacked last week. We're going to go with the same system. We're going to go with a game pick, whether it be a spread, a total, or a money line. We're going to go with a player prop, and we are going to go with a touchdown score. And for the game total, we're taking the under 48.5. We don't do free promo here, but there is an app where you can look at trends given circumstances. So, for example, it would be if a team just lost by 30 plus in a game, how do they do against the spread the next game? If you look at the top 12 systems of the day, they're all for this game to go under it. The game total is at 45.5. We bought a couple points, bought it up to 48.5 because most of the misses I looked at was just by 1 to 3 points. For the player prop, Brian Thomas Jr. over 4.5 receptions. We talked about how the accuracy between him and Trevor Lawrence has been higher. We talked about how the 2-high matchup has been working in his favor. And lastly, one that we haven't really gotten to talk about yet is the touchdown score. We took ETN or Worthy. The heavy one here that we're leaning on is ETN because 50% of the touchdowns the Chiefs have allowed so far have been rushing touchdowns. On the other side, for Xavier Worthy, Jaguars have the lowest percentage of touchdowns allowed as rushing touchdowns, so we wanted to target in the air, specifically outside. So that fit. It was either Xavier Worthy or Tyquan Thornton, and we just talked about Tyquan Thornton not really being on the field. So ETN or Xavier Worthy. This comes out to plus 433. FanDuel's given us a 50% boost on this one, so we're going to grab plus 649 again. We're going for back-to-back. So if you hit last night, make sure to like and follow. If you're tailing today, make sure to like and follow. And make sure to show love to my guys JJ and Austin on Twitter if you don't already. Other than that, do we have any final remarks before we let this thing go?
It's time to get 2 under our belt. 2 in a row.
Let's do it. Let's
Back to
do it.
back.
All right. Good luck, everybody. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you guys on the next show.